Hi, welcome to Fitzgerald. I'm Tony O'Brien. I'm with Fitzgerald Automall Subaru Hyundai in Gaithersburg, Maryland. I'm here now because we're talking about the trade appraisal process, which is a very important part of the buying a car, or sometimes people will also just want to sell us their car, and then so we have to have a good appraisal. The appraisal process has actually two things going on. One is the mechanical part of the process, and one is selling the deal to the customer. The mechanical process generally starts off at some point. The customer indicates that they want to trade or sell us their car, and that might be a good time to say, well, sir, would you like me to have it appraised for you and give you a value? When they say yes, the next thing is to ask for the registration of the car. Generally it's in the car, so go with the customer to the car and look at the car while the customer is looking for the registration. Some of the things you want to look at is outside and inside the car, and if you happen to notice a blemish in the paint or a little nick on the bumper, you might just quietly and subtly point that out to the customer. Sometimes they don't drive this car themselves, or they might have forgotten that they had that accident or that little nick later, or it might be inconsequential to them. After that, you of course get to check the mileage of the car. It's very important that you get the exact mileage in the car, because the good thing about Fitzgerald appraisal is they're good for 7 days or 250 miles. We don't have to tell the customer, this is your deal today. If you don't buy the car today, if you don't trade today, you're not going to get this figure. Instead, we say, look, you got a week to think about it if you want, or go see if your son wants the car, or you're welcome to do business today. So we go back inside and we approach our computer or iPad or whatever you're going to use to do the transaction. Make sure you have a visit already in the showroom on the customer. You should have done that already. And then you go down to the screen on the computer and look for trade appraisal and click that in. And the next thing you do is you want to make sure you put the proper VIN in the computer. If the proper VIN comes in the computer, it should start to populate slightly, and then you want to continue answering the questions on the appraisal pad. Besides, it may ask you about the engine, it may ask you about several other questions like, has the vehicle ever been in an accident? Have you, things like, any details about the car that you need to ask the customer and fill out properly. What you're doing at this point is you're looking for value for the customer, and also so the manager properly appraises the vehicle. If it has air conditioning, say that. If it doesn't work, you want to put down there that it doesn't work or it doesn't have a problem. The manager may find out anyway, because the vehicles are appraised here, the vehicles are repaired here sometimes. So, and later this could come back later if it's not, questions aren't answered properly. So once all the questions are answered, you have the customer sign, make a copy from the printer, and have the customer sign the appraisal that they've answered those questions that we've asked them, and then you bring the key and the appraisal to the appraising person or section, and let the appraiser know where the car is. We have a big lot out here, and we don't want them spending a long time trying to locate the car. And then go back and talk to your customer a little bit. Okay, that's our part of the mechanic of appraising a car. However, it just doesn't stop there. At some point, the appraisal is going to come back, and we need to discuss it with the customer, because many times their perception of what they're owed, or what the vehicle's valued with, or what they have been told it's worth. They might have been told by other dealers a number. We have to defend our number. Well, the good thing is we give it to them in writing, and if you notice the thing that we're giving them in writing, the piece of paper in writing, is going to have different values on it. It's going to have a black book value, it's going to have a Kelley Blue Book value, it's going to have an auction report, and it's going to have some deductions that we noticed on the car, or that actually agreed with the customer, because they probably told us these things already, and then we'll have our value of the car. And many times the customer is satisfied with the value, and sometimes they're not. And this is where you go to the second part of the appraising the car, which you need to, you're going to get from experience, or you're going to get from your used car manager, and how to present the appraisal to the customer. For example, if the customer doesn't like the appraisal or is concerned about it, well, you can point out to them, well, you're also going to get, if it's a Merlin tag on the car, you're also going to get a tax credit at the time of sale, so that you actually have two values there. You can also point out to the customer that they can keep the car and not trade it and still get the fixed price on there. So this is part of all part of the appraisal process. And thank you and good luck.